You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
Risk and compliance shouldn't slow your business down. Hyperproof helps you automate controls, integrate real-time risk workflows, and build a centralized system of trust so your teams can focus on growth, not spreadsheets. From faster audits to stronger stakeholder confidence, Hyperproof gives you the business advantage of smarter compliance. Visit www.hyperproof.io to see how leading teams are transforming their GRC programs. At Thales, they know cybersecurity can be tough and you can't protect everything. But with Thales, you can secure what matters most. With Thales's industry-leading platforms, you can protect critical applications, data, and identities, anywhere and at scale with the highest ROI. That's why the most trusted brands and largest banks, retailers, and healthcare companies in the world rely on Thales to protect what matters most: applications, data, and identity. That's Thales. Thales. Learn more at thalesgroup.com/cyber.
Today is October 27th, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazes, and this is T-Minus.
T-Minus. 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
Cedar Space has signed a commercial Pathfinder mission agreement with Lone Star Data Holdings.
4.
Voyager Technologies has acquired electric propulsion systems company Exoterra Resource.
3.
Firefly Aerospace is set to expand and add 300 jobs to its Cedar Park, Texas location.
2.
The European Council calls for an accelerated joint development of space assets and services that serve security and defense purposes.
1.
JAXA successfully launched a cargo spacecraft for its first mission to deliver supplies to the International Space Station. Our guest today is Richard Cooper, Space Foundation Vice President of Strategic Communications. Rich is going to be sharing the latest news about the 2026 Space Symposium, so stick around for more on that after today's intelligence briefing. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for joining me. First up, Japan has successfully launched its first resupply mission to the International Space Station. The HTV-X1 spacecraft successfully lifted off atop the No. 7 H3 rocket from Japan's Tanegashima Space Center on Sunday. So far, the mission has gone to plan, and if everything continues smoothly, it is expected to arrive at the ISS in a few days to deliver supplies. Japanese astronaut Kimiya Yui, who is currently at the ISS, is set to catch the craft with a robotic arm in the early hours of Thursday. And JAXA President Hiroshi Yamakawa called Sunday's launch a major step forward that demonstrated Japan's capability of delivering supplies to space. The HTV-X is designed to be connected to the ISS for up to 6 months to deliver supplies and retrieve waste from the orbiting lab. It's also expected to conduct technical missions while making an orbital flight after leaving the station in about 3 months' time. And congratulations to all involved. The European Council met last week and pushed forward with a new plan to grow Europe's defense by 2030. The Council released a statement after the meeting calling for an accelerated joint development of space assets and services that serve security and defense purposes, as well as for the protection of existing assets, including dual-use assets, given their importance for Europe's strategic autonomy. At the core of the readiness objective is ensuring that Europe has the full spectrum capabilities needed to deter any aggression and to defend its borders by land, air, and sea, as well as its networks and assets in cyber and outer space. Firefly Aerospace is set to expand and add 300 jobs to its Cedar Park, Texas location. Cedar Park City Council approved giving Firefly Aerospace as much as $1 million for a planned expansion of its headquarters. The space and defense technology company is planning to move into a 44,000 square foot building about a mile from its current headquarters. And the new location will serve as Firefly's regional headquarters and is expected to help it add 300 jobs by the end of 2027, according to city documents. Voyager Technologies has acquired electric propulsion company Exoterra Resource. Chairman and CEO of Voyager, Dylan Taylor, explained that the acquisition amplifies the company's collective mission capability with Exoterra, accelerating delivery across defense and commercial markets. Taylor added, quote, "As freedom of maneuver becomes central to space control and deterrence, it's imperative that reliable propulsion systems are built, tested, and qualified right here in the United States." Exoterra's Halo thruster technology is proven aboard DARPA Blackjack Aces spacecraft, and the company recently supplied York Space Systems with 21 propulsion modules for the Space Development Agency transport layer. Voyager Technology says it is well positioned for strategic initiatives such as Golden Dome, thanks to the combination of Exoterra's capabilities with the company's portfolio of mission-critical technologies. And Sidus Space has signed a commercial Pathfinder mission agreement with Lone Star Data Holdings. Sidus Space will design and integrate Lone Star's digital data storage payload onto LizzieSat 5. And LizzieSat 5 is a low Earth orbit satellite within Sidus's LizzieSat microconstellation. Under the terms of their agreement, Sidus will also arrange deployment and payload commissioning in coordination with Lone Star. The mission serves as the rollout of Lone Star's commercial offering for in-space data storage and edge processing technologies. The tech is designed to establish sovereign, secure, and scalable orbital data infrastructure where data from Earth can be uplinked, stored long-term, processed, and then downlinked as needed from onboard a spacecraft. And that wraps up today's Intel briefing for you, my friends. As always, you can find links to all of the stories that I have mentioned in today's show in our show notes. And we always like to put a few extra stories in there in the show notes for your reading pleasure. And today we have two extra stories for you. One is on how SpaceX's Starlink doesn't seem to be fast enough for Ukraine's combat robots. And another one is about the Above Space Development Corporation achieving awardable status through DARPA's Expedited Research Implementation Series Marketplace. All those and more in the selected reading section of our show notes or at our website, space.n2k.com. Regular listeners know that every day at the end of each episode of T-Minus, I read the names of all of the people who work on this show. It is a big team effort to get this show published every day. And you, dear listener, play a very important role too. Every time you share an episode of T-Minus with your colleagues or on social media, that not only helps us grow, and thank you for that, but more importantly, it also shows how our work is useful and interesting to you. So if you enjoy T-Minus, please don't keep us hidden. Share our show in your social and professional networks because it helps us grow and it makes T-Minus even better for you every day. And thank you for being a part of the T-Minus crew.
And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. Allow Listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the files, registry keys, network resources, and other applications they truly need to function. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker.
Our guest today is Richard Cooper, Space Foundation Vice President of Strategic Communication, and I caught up with Rich to find out what's the latest at the Space Foundation.
At Space Foundation, we do a lot of things, and there is always something going on. And we've got a finance forum that's going to be coming up here in February. That'll be in Dallas, Texas. But the big thing that we will be already are working on is the annual Space Symposium. And needless to say, this is our 41st. And when we've done something like this, we always want to top what we've done in previous years. And I'm confident in what we're putting together this year, we will be able to do just that.
Okay, so last year was pretty epic with it being the 40. So what should we be expecting for 41 in terms of what's being topped?
Well, April 13th through 16th, we are literally bringing the world together, the global space community, to come to the premier event of that global space community, where we can bring government, industry, military, research, investment, all of those different parties together on the campuses of the Broadmoor and Cheyenne Mountain Resort, and not only allow them to share information, but something that's even probably more important than information, building relationships. And when you can build relationships with people from around the world over a couple of days in one location, it's a great place to do business and understand what is happening across what is a very, very dynamic community.
What are you expecting this year in terms of topic areas that are going to be really hot? I mean, I imagine Golden Dome's going to be a big, big, big one. But anything else that you're thinking is going to be a particularly interesting area? I
will say 2026 is going to be an amazing space year. And we've got some really cool anniversaries that are going to be happening. The 100th anniversary of Goddard, the 50th anniversary of the Mars Viking landers. And oh, by the way, America turns 250. Okay, that's great. But if all the stars align and all systems are go, we know Artemis 2 is going to be lifting off sometime between February 5th and April 30th. Again, the moon grasp is literally right in front of us. And so we are very, very excited to be able to host a symposium when this is going on. And while we are all excited about the Artemis mission, we're also very excited about the various industry missions that are starting to go around the moon and looking to land and do their research and do their service. Again, you will certainly have human space exploration, the whole moon, Mars, cislunar dynamic. But again, space is also a tremendous business. And so we will be having a number of speakers. In fact, we've got a dedicated track session that is entitled Space Finance and Investment. And we are looking to bring a number of leaders there to certainly present to audience members, but allow them also the opportunity to network and connect with one another. Again, I'm going to come back to the networking and relationships that Symposium offers. That's fabulous. So you've got this big thing with Artemis, and you already mentioned Golden Dome, but let's take that picture a bit bigger. The larger national security dynamic with space is becoming a far more overt conversation. And we've been fortunate to have leaders from the Pentagon, from Space Force, and all of the military branches, and I would say even U.S. allies and partners come in and talk about the strategies of which they are looking to build in order to not only secure our nations, but make sure that they are resilient from any number of types of threats or interruptions that could possibly happen. So we've got the finance aspect, we've got the security aspect, we've got the business aspect, we've got the exploration aspect. So again, there is, I will say, a lot on the menu, and just literally several days to kind of get through it and make sure that people can get their serving out.
Anything new you want to highlight for this coming year? I'm sure you all are still very much working on that, but anything you can share?
Yes. Our theme for this year is building capacity through innovation and collaboration. And that really goes to parts I was talking about earlier, the networking, the relationship building. One of the things that we at Space Foundation take great pride in, and the symposium is a showcase of this, is bringing people together. The power of convening is a wonderful superpower that we have been able to develop as an organization. And so when you can bring people from more than 60 countries, there's something very, very special about that. And when you can bring people from more than 60 countries to literally sit in or be part of, like, some of our track sessions, space law and regulations, space science and exploration, space finance and investment. I already mentioned that. But the big one I think you're going to see this year is, track on game changers, AI in space. I don't think any of us are going a day without using AI in some form. But what AI is going to do for the space community literally is an exponential game changer in ways I don't think we will ever be able to measure, because it's always going to be going. So you're going to have all of that on the agenda. But I'm also really excited about all the opportunity that we want to bring in smaller or new businesses, so that it gives everybody the opportunity to see what is next. And we've always got in the space community a lot of people who are coming up with the concepts and ideas of what's next. And that's part of the reason why, brace yourself, we now have a third exhibit hall.
Oh, no, really?
We have a third exhibit hall this year. We now have just under 170,000 square feet, with literally displays coming from around the world. And I've called it at times the Epcot of space, that you can walk up and down the aisles and you can be in Japan one moment, turn a corner, you're in Canada. Oh, by the way, the Australians are over there. Hey, have you seen what's going on in Germany? And again, you see all of those countries alongside companies. And what you really see is that living, breathing space ecosystem.
Congrats on the announcement of the dates, I guess I should say, the unveiling.
Yes, April 13th through 16th, just 170 some odd days away, but who's counting?
And I was going to also ask, do we think we'll have another space station module for us to tour?
I don't know. We were fortunate to be able to have VAST put out Haven 1 so that we would all get an idea. And if all the stars align, hopefully Haven 1 will be up in the early portion of 2026 so we can hear how it's going. But again, we don't know yet. We're certainly on the cusp of the era of the commercial space station. So anytime we get to share any hardware like that, we want to do that. But right now, I don't know. But we will work on that as well as some other cool stuff.
Fair enough, Rich. I had to ask because that was, I think a lot of us were taking selfies to show our families and go, look what I got to do while I was on this awesome business trip.
And again, Firefly Aerospace having their moon lander there again. This is the part that's so much, I will say, fun about Space Symposium, that you are getting up on some of this hardware and being able to hold some of this hardware in your hand, see it, look at its size and dimensions. Yes, you can take a selfie, but get a real, I will say, human grasp, the size and proportion of what we're putting out there, as well as the complexity. There is something very human about interacting with that type of hardware. And again, we are very, very proud at Symposium to showcase that in lots of different ways, because we have companies and sponsors and participants that are doing great things. We just like to bring people together to showcase it, celebrate it, and build more relationships and do great things.
We'll be right back.
What's your 2 a.m. security worry? Is it, do I have the right controls in place? Maybe, are my vendors secure? Or the one that really keeps you up at night, how do I get out from under these old tools and manual processes? That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta automates the manual work so you can stop sweating over spreadsheets, chasing audit evidence, and filling out endless questionnaires. Their trust management platform continuously monitors your systems, centralizes your data, and simplifies your security at scale. and it fits right into your workflows, using AI to streamline evidence collection, flag risks, and keep your program audit ready, all the time. With Vanta, you get everything you need to move faster, scale confidently, and finally get back to sleep. Get started at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber.
Welcome back. It's that time of year again when we trade our payload fairings for pumpkin carvers, our satellites for stencils. NASA's annual space-themed pumpkin templates are back, everybody, and they are, if you'll not mind the pun, out of this world. NASA's giving everyone a cosmic way to celebrate the spooky season. And whether you're going for a classic astronaut, the Artemis SLS, or maybe, my fave, the James Webb Space Telescope, with a twist. And if you've ever tried to carve a perfect orbit into a pumpkin, and I know, space is hard. Now, come to think of it, pumpkin carving actually has a lot in common with mission design. Okay, stay with me here. You start with a solid structure, plan your cuts carefully, hope your creation doesn't collapse under pressure, and then precision matters, of course, whether you're launching a satellite or just lighting a jack-o'-lantern. So this Halloween, grab your space tools, channel your inner mission specialist, and carve your way to the stars. You can find NASA's official templates at nasa.gov or by following the link in our handy-dandy show notes. And by the way, if you do decide to give them a try, please share your creations with us by emailing space@n2k.com. Honestly, we're just dying to see what y'all make. Don't be shy. And that's T-Minus, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. If you like the show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to space@n2k.com. We're proud that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K helps space and cybersecurity professionals grow, learn, and stay informed. As the nexus for discovery and connection, we bring you the people, the technology, and the ideas shaping the future of secure innovation. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazis. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
T-minus